So let's continue on with a little investigation about how everyday common words that have been placed into at least the English language, and I think this word is used all over the world in some form or another. It may not sound exactly the same, but it's close enough. This infatuation that these people that would call themselves the Jews have with shit. Okay, just so you get it, so there's no mistake. Let's see. This is out of the King James Bible. And Israel abode, they lived in Shittim. And the people began to commit whoredom with the daughter of Moab. And they called the people unto sacrifices to God, and the people did eat, bowed to their gods. And Israel joined herself to Baal Peor. Who's that? That's Baal Peor is the toilet god. In other words, he is the shit. And that's where you get the phrase on the street, you're the shit, or he's the shit, because that's who they're talking about. You see? You see how perverted this shit is? How they worked it in and they get us to talk about it and praise their disgusting bullshit habit? There is some difficulty ascertaining whether Baal Peor was a Moabite idol. The Israelites were camping at Shittim, were seduced by women of Moab and Midian, joined in worship. There is no notice of any later instance of this idolatry. It seems therefore not to have been a national of Moab. It's because it's the Jews. It's not the Moabites. They get blamed for it. It's these guys. And so it may have been borrowed from the Midianites. Yeah, well, let's blame it on them now. Or the local Canaanite. The former idea is supported by the apparent connection of prostitution, even of women of rank, with the worship of Baal Peor, which means gross. It's the Lord of the opening, the asshole, which would not have been repugnant to the pagan Arabs, which would have been repugnant. So the Arabs weren't doing it. The later finds some support in the name of Shittim in the acacias. That's a tree. It's like a locust tree, but they're just saying it has a similar to that. As although this place had the name Arcasis sacred to Baal, and moreover, we have no certain instance of the application of the name Baal to any non-Canaanite divinity. So it's tied to Cain, which is tied to the Jews, which they're still running their fucking mouth, pulling this lie that they're God's chosen people because they're the ones that got cursed. So they flip the story and they say they're chosen. Hang on. So I was going through some old texts and Hebrew words and stuff. Here's Saturn, thumbing, which is interesting because when you remember back in the days when people would hitchhike, they'd say, "Oh, how are you going to get there?" "Well, I'm thumbing it." "Well, you're thumbing it, huh?" Right? So the thumb has to do with Saturn. And then here's Shittim, but what is that associated with? Uh-oh. What name is that? What name is this? Is there another part of that name that we can go with? Let's see, I bet there is. If it will let me, I will show you. Tubal Cain. So we got Tubal Cain, we've got Shittim, we've got Thummim, we've got Baal Peor, we've got Lord of the Openings. But Shittim is the main thing. See? So they put these little gags out on the street. Oh, he's the shit, you're the shit. It's a place where they fucking sacrifice kids in the groves and stuff. This shit is laughable. It's fucking laughable. Make sense of that statement there. They want all the credit without any of the blame. Per their own words, they created us, which means, in their own words, that we're a shadow of them, meaning that they're God. This is the Jews now. So they created us, we're a shadow of them, but in the Bible it says that man was the one that created the original sin, right? We're not men, we're mud people. We're Gollum, right? So if the Jews created us and they're the original man by their own writings, that they're the original man, then they're the ones that fucked everything up, right? They're the ones that fucked everything up, and they want all the credit for the creation, but they don't want any of the blame for the disaster that they brought upon the creation. And unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. You fucking liars. You know you're liars. You're not chosen. You're the cursed ones. You flip everything upside down. You play the victim, but you're really the aggressor. Okay? And so it appears, after all, that Israel is the shit. And not so much us. Because they're the ones that are constantly talking about it and worshiping it and playing with it and eating it and doing whatever else they do. And that is all I have to say about that.